You know, I have seen videos out here on YouTube from brothers who saying that at some point, some of your subscribers or people that you've had communication with will turn on you or take your words and twist them, or your opinions and twist them. Now, there's one YouTuber, General Backlash. I've come across his videos, and some of his videos I'd agree with, and some of them I didn't. Even when I didn't agree or I never made any comments, I just let it say what it was. I listened to his video and I said, okay, fine. And he had issues with some of the women out here on YouTube. I said that's his business. That's between him and those YouTubers. I never injected myself in anything. But yesterday I did a video where this white woman took an image of a black woman shaking her ass. And if anybody's been following my videos, know I got serious issue with black women out here putting themselves out there because people take these images and use them to their own needs. And I stated that in that video. But I said how slick she was. She took an image of a black woman, knowing that usually black men or men in general want to see half naked ass black women do this. They inserted her image in her who she was and what she liked and how to get in contact with her. And I said she's a cave dwelling bitch. And I mean that. And so I guess brother took issue with me criticizing this white woman. He wanted to make it as if somehow black women all engage in his mindset. First of all, brother, I never insulted you. I never came at you the way you came at me. But I'm used to this now. There's a certain group of black YouTubers that feel in order to get more views or to get favors with certain viewers that you feel that you got to go in and start criticizing other YouTubers. Fine, I'm a big boy. I can handle myself. My thing is, and I think you missed it, the fact is that you have some issues with some sisters, and you think that I'm supposed to jump on a boat and just knock black women because of a questionable group of black women. I'm not going to do that. I try to separate black women from that. First of all, you don't see the comments or get the comments that I receive. And I received a lot of nasty comments from white women. Even when videos where I have never said anything about white women or white men, okay? They sit back and they talk about black men and black women like we're animals, okay? Yes, there are some brothers and sisters out here that do those type of things. But as I said before, you have to separate yourself from that group of people. Now, there are brothers and sisters out there I've communicated with that used to say, hey, man, I used to carry myself like that. But I'm watching your videos and then start watching other brothers and sisters' videos, I start to realize that I was doing something wrong. Now, if I just reach 1, 2, 3 people, that I've done my job. But for you to sit there and say I'm a hypocrite and come at me because I called this white woman out for being deceitful, you're wrong. This has been done for years. What that white woman did is what they talk about in advertising, subliminal. It's subliminal. You took an image of a black woman shaking her ass, which I don't approve of. Now, even you say you didn't watch the whole video, okay? She's shaking her ass and it flips from the image of a black woman to a white woman. That what she was doing was she was betting on men arousal. And I stated in the video, it could be black men, and I also said it could be some white men too. But more than likely, she was looking for black men because brothers usually stop and look at those videos on average. We can't deny that, okay? And I pointed out how deceptive it is. Instead of her putting her own video up and just saying what it was, look at the title of the video. Black mom gets nasty. That's what she was saying, that black women are nasty. See, this stuff is going over your head. Brother, the issues you got with these sisters out here on YouTube, that's your issue. But you coming to me like, oh, this is a challenge. You're a hypocrite. No, I'm not a hypocrite. If you watch my videos and know that I've been consistent on saying that sisters need to handle themselves in a better way. But I've noticed out here now, and I've stated this before, I said I've noticed that there are black men and black women. When I put up certain videos, they flag them or vote down because I'm putting our stuff out there on blast. No, I don't like the fact a white woman can sit back and use black women images to manipulate men or try to manipulate black men because they think that we're so in love with white women bodies that they figure, you know what, I get these black men aroused. I stated in other videos I'm ticked off of black men for falling for these tricks. But nah, brother, you didn't listen to those other videos. You didn't read the different commentaries. You didn't see the various amounts of videos where I talked about all our issues. It seems to me that you're in defense of this white woman because maybe deep down you one of those brothers that like white women, and you don't like the fact that a black man is putting not just black women or black men on blast, but putting white women and white men on blast. I'm fair across the board. But your tone in your video was mean-spirited, man. All you had to do is say, Harvey, I disagree with you. But you made it seem as if I just besmirched this woman's character. If you saw what I saw with the link to that video, she besmirched her character herself. I can't even put the link up, because usually I click onto the link where I can show people where to go to. I can't even do that at that time because it was X-rated. There are videos out here on YouTube that have white women actually out here saying that they want a black man just for sex. We've all seen them. You say I should be mad at black men. Yeah, I'm mad at brothers for falling for that, those who have fallen for that, but a lot of brothers don't fall for that. I was pissed off at the blatant use of certain images and then playing on people's minds. That's what they've done for hundreds of years. And they still do it to this very day. This is why I've stated in my videos, I said, sisters, y'all need to step back. Y'all being used. Y'all being mocked. Y'all being disrespected. But see, you took me saying something about this one woman, this one video, and you assume that I'm defending questionable behavior or I'm a hypocrite. No, I'm not. I've been consistent since the moment I started doing videos on YouTube. I am not going to attack a sister just to be attacking the sisters, no matter what some of y'all have said out here. But I've noticed, I've said it before, it's the same incestuous clique of people who argue among each other. Then what they do is they kiss and make up, then start going after other YouTubers. But I said it was a matter of time. There have been brothers out here put videos out here saying, you know what, these people are not your friends, and I understand that. There's a small group of YouTubers out here that I've communicated with, that I've communicated on a regular basis to feel that, you know, I can talk to them, communicate with them without worrying about somebody lying or misrepresenting my words. I had respect for you, a lot of respect for you, my friend. Even when I didn't agree with you, I never came to your channel. I never made videos calling you out your name or attacking you. But your tone tells me what you're on. You're one of those black men that probably wanted to be with sisters, and one of these sisters just did something out of pocket, and you can't let the shit go. That's my observation. Then you want to turn around back on brothers. Every black man do not go out there as thirsty for a white woman's body. Now every black woman is out here holding it up. These women that shake their ass on the video, instead of us browbeating them, talk to them. This is why our community is in shambles, because instead of us talking to each other, we're yelling and disrespecting one another. All I was doing is pointing something out to sisters. Just like I've been doing for a while. I said, sisters, look what they're doing to y'all. This is how they're manipulating y'all. But we got some brothers out here who will defend another group of people to the ends of the earth. Now I'm gonna play this video. I'm gonna let my subscribers, my viewers, make and formulate their opinion.
Cave dwelling we still stuck in that mindset? Is that the level that we're still willing to descend and to dishonor ourselves with? Cave-dwelling bitch? Really? As much flack as you get from being the target of people's hatred and smears and vitriol, you would actually go there? But I'm going to say that your sentiments are misplaced, not just for the remark and for the comment, but for the whole theme of this video that you put up, where it shows this typical skank black woman just up in front of the camera, twiddling her booty around.
Let me stop it right there. Brother, when you said this typical skank black woman, now you just criticized me for calling a white woman a cave-dwelling bitch, but you turn around and insult black women. See, this is where the issues come in at. See, this is why every black man gets lumped into this black woman hating group. First of all, let me state this again. When I came across this video, okay, I was going to do a commentary on sisters shaking their ass. And I mentioned this stuff before, okay? But when it switched into the white, I was like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on. I realized what she was doing. When she was doing, and see, a weak-minded person would have fell for it. They would have fell for it. And I said, I know what she's doing. She's figured, you know what? I might meet some black men. That's what it was, because she put black nasty mom, nasty mom, however the title went. And she used the image of a black woman. She didn't use the image of a white woman. Okay? She was not, and this white woman out here shaking their ass too, or trying to shake their ass. She didn't use their image. She used a black woman's image. Understand the manipulation part. You see, that seemed to went over your head, brother.
And whatever type of boy shorts or whatever those things are. All, thinking that it's looking sexy in the bathroom of all places. And you take this gripe where, as a result of her shaking her fanny up on the internet screen, you are expressing a sense of dismay and utter appall at the fact that after a few seconds of this black woman shaking her ass in front of the camera, the scene instantly switches over to a sexy personal ad by some bordering 50-year-old white woman talking about how much she likes to get kinky. And at least to the part to where I had stopped your video, because I have to admit I didn't watch through the whole thing. I stopped at maybe the 2 minute 5 second mark. So I don't know if there was anything more to her text as it relates to excuse me, as it relates to this whole her advertising her wares out there, talking about what she likes to do and how she likes to do it. I'm not going to say that you're necessarily incorrect, but the way that I read her personal information, she's not specifying black men.
Okay, that's stop it right there again. If you take an image of a black woman shaking her ass, okay, and I've stated this many times in my videos that I have issue with our sisters putting themselves out there like this. If you've watched my videos, you will see that I've been consistent with that, okay? What she did was take an image of a black woman shaking her ass, then inserted herself in, because she figured in her head, you know what? Black men are going to come to this channel and may come across this video. And you know what? I'm, like you said, damn near 50. Looks are fading. Nobody wants me. And she stated in her little advertisement that she lives in a small town. Small town is code for small white town. Okay? And she said everybody knows everybody. So she can't get down with what she want to do in that small town or who she want to be with. Like most white women who have been raised or been taught to stay away from that black buck, but deep down they know they want to be with him. When they get older, they figure, well, black men have no standards, because this is a stereotype that we mess with baby mamas, prostitutes, sluts, or whatever. Or if we step outside of the community, we mess with overweight or unattractive white women or older white women. So she said, if I say I'm kinky, that means he, in his mind, oh, she do whatever I want. She's down with everything. See, a lot of y'all out here see these things on a daily basis and don't take time to analyze or listen. You'd be surprised what's put out here on YouTube or on the internet. I'm gonna finish playing the rest of this.
That's the first key. Now, whether that's her target audience or not, it would seem to be, maybe, more than likely, considering the fact that she did choose a booty shaking of a black woman to have her little personal stuff segue into. And there are I won't say just as many, but there are more than enough white girls up there doing the exact same things because they've been corrupted by our women. What do you expect? I mean, we are.
Now, you went out and said black women been corrupted by white women. Don't you think it's the other way around? Don't you think it's the other way around that black women were corrupted by white women during slavery and especially during the women's movement? Remember, there was a time in our communities where mothers and fathers had the ability to discipline their children. It wasn't until the late 80s that now up to this point, that if you say something to your male or female children, that you're being an abuser. So what happened is that guidance is missing. I've stated this in other videos. But when you sat there and said black women corrupting white women, you make it sound like if white women is pure snow. Now, brother, like I said before, I've listened to some of your videos, and I wish that God would listen to more but it sounded to me in this video, you're defending white women, and that's what it sounds like. You coming to the aid of white women. You sound like Nas and Ice-T and The Dream and these other brothers out here that sit out here, want to sit out here and come rescue this pure white woman, when white women are the biggest skanks and the biggest sluts. Let's just be honest with it. Not all. Let me rephrase that. Not all. But enough is. Look at TV. Look at the things they do on primetime television. Look what they do on cable. I can give you an example. I did a video about Bristol Palin. Here it is. She's mocking President Obama, but going after his two little girls. But this is the same Bristol Palin that got knocked up at the age of 17. She's a baby mama, but nobody will call her a baby mama. Look at this show that come on MTV, Pregnant at 16. Remember those girls in that school in that area in New York took a pregnancy pack? Remember Monica Lewinsky was getting fucked by Bill Clinton with a cigar, and then didn't Bill Clinton and Monica said, "Oh, oral sex is not really sex." We forget that. See, I'm gonna tell you, brother, I don't mind critiquing our people when they need to be critiqued. But I'm not going to sit here and bash sisters. This is why a lot of brothers, and myself included out here on YouTube, are being misrepresented or being misinterpreted because some brothers, and I hate to say this, it seems to me like you have issue with black women, man. Don't use me as this, oh, he hates white people stuff. No, I don't hate white people. Now, think I'm giving back on my history, on my experience, or our history as a collective people. Blacks should have that type of mindset. Everybody else seems to have, and we haven't done anything to them. I'm going to play the rest of it.
Trendsetters in this country, both for good and for bad. And that's the sad case of our existence. Would be more better if we were the trendsetters for more of the positive stuff. But, you know, niggas being niggas, we're always going to glorify.
Now, you call us niggas being niggas. See, that's what I'm talking about. This is the sub-hatred that I said that runs through our people, man. I've never referred to ourselves as, boy. I was warned that was going to happen.
The most undesirable elements of ourselves, and we're going to promote that as the thing to be emulated. And then here we get hypocrites like you, who would actually dare take an issue with the fact that here's a white woman who's latching.
Now I'm a hypocrite because I pointed out something to black women and black men, saying that this is how your images are manipulated. This is what you're used for. I'm a hypocrite for pointing that out. Whoa. Ooh.
On to this negative stereotype of our women. And you would, instead of saying, I don't know, maybe you said it later on in the video. I don't know. Again, like I said, I could be jumping the gun here.
Now you said you don't know. No, you don't know. I put our people on blast a lot, but I don't do it to the point where I sound like I'm defending white people, okay? If you watch my videos and if you watch them in full, now you said in this video, you didn't watch the whole video in full. I've called out black women and black men when they question behavior. But you took offense in me calling this white woman out on her behavior and what she was doing. She's being manipulative.
But based upon the way that you were presenting the whole situation, you were making it seem as though that white people or white women are manipulating us or manipulating our image or trying to do things to where we become marginalized, and so they try to elevate themselves, and so they use and apply anything that we have to present and offer in order to get us to think a certain way or to...
You don't see it every day on television. You don't see it every day you walk out in society. When black women dress a certain way, they're sluts and they're skanks and they're evil. White women dress a certain way. She's just being flamboyant. She's being her. She's being adventurous. She has an outgoing personality. You mean to tell me that you don't see that, brother?
Get us to view something in a certain light, and please excuse that. And so the whole thing that I'm getting from your whole your little tirade here is that how dare a white woman use the image of a black woman in order to entice black men? Which, again, like I said, since she never specified, unless there's something more.
Once again, brother, if she took all the images out here of women out here on YouTube shaking their ass, why would she use a black woman? Why would she use that title? Okay? Think about it. Black mom gets nasty. Black woman shaking her ass. White woman inserts her image and her specifications in the video. Only one video. What else would you call it?
That you haven't been showing us, which identifies exactly where this site was, where she came from, what her specifications and qualifications were.
I'm not going to advertise some adult website, okay? And I saw the website in its entirety, and the image I could not put up, the link I could not put up. It's up to you to look at the video, enlarge your screen, and look at it, and you'll see where it's coming from, and you'll understand what I was talking about.
I can only go based upon the text that was presented in your little presentation there, and there was no specification as to what kind of men that she was looking for. But it's...
Once again, you take an image of all the images on YouTube of women being sexual, showing them, shaking their ass. Because there are tons of videos out here of white women shaking their ass, or at least attempting to shake their ass. But it's met with a different response, okay? Why did she take those white when she wasn't going to embarrass a white woman? You have to understand this. White people would not put the white people out there like that. That's what I was stating in these videos, these last 10 or 15 videos I've done, pointing out certain images to black women, how they've been used, how they're being mocked, how they're being manipulated. Now, whatever issues you have with sisters out here, don't try to pull me into this, okay? But I was warned by a few YouTubers that some of these people that come to your channel that say, hey, Harvey, go on, say this, call that such and such out. And when you don't do that, they get mad. Now, like I said, I had to reevaluate the black YouTubers, or quote-unquote black YouTubers that come to my channel, because a lot of y'all out here are not here for the purposes of building or trying to create something for your people, something better for us or for yourself. A lot of you out here are defenders of white supremacy, and a lot of you don't want to realize it, but you are. I'm listening to some of the videos, whether you super hood or supposed to be super educated, a lot of y'all tones make me sit there and say, our people are jacked the fuck up. If I, as a black man, want to point out something to our people and point out how images, how words are used to manipulate us, I should have that right. But when I get another black man, supposed black man, take issue with me calling this shit out, You have to start to wonder who are our enemies, who are our friends. Like I said in the beginning, when I've come across your videos, have I watched every last one of your videos? No. But what I have watched, some I agree with, some I don't agree with. But it seems to me that you have issue with black women, brother. I'm not going to get into that argument or that fight. Yes, I got some issue with some of our sisters. But notice I say some. But my thing is, you're pissed off at me because I called this white woman out on her being slick. Like I said, there are white women out here and Hispanic women, Asian women out here that she could have very well took their image and manipulated. No, she took a image of a black woman. Now, albeit that these sisters should not be doing this to themselves, and I've stated this time and time again. I've stated this, and other brothers have stated this. But see, you're not mad at the fact that this woman took an image that's already showing our women in a bad light. But she inserted herself because she figured that black men, and that's what she did it for. That's what she did it for. Now you, if I'm not mistaken, you was in the military, right? At one point, or still are. So you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. You know how white women get down. You know it, brother. Don't pretend like you don't know it. And I'm not saying all white women do this, but you know there's a majority of white women, when they reach a certain age or when their husbands are not around, they secretly lust after black men. They'll do and say anything to get in our draws. And then when they get it, they either yell or they keep coming back for more until they get tired of us. That whole image was manipulative, and you cannot deny it. If you are a well-versed brother as you say you are, you know that things are done on a subliminal level. Some are very blatant. Some is not even done on a subliminal level. Some is very blatant, and this was blatant.
Safe to assume that her target was black men. Fine, especially given the fact that she's a busted, broken, half-century-old, far out of her prime white woman, who's probably considered trash meat by her fellow white men at this point in the game. So I'm not going to necessarily rule that out. But the issue that I'm taking with you is that you would be more upset with her for taking a dishonorable and disreputable imagery of a black woman in order to promote herself as being some sex goddess or whatever the heck it is, instead of slamming the damn black women who are actually up there making themselves available for such.
Now, if you've been following my videos, and I say this again, I have critiqued black women for doing these things. That's what I have. I've been consistent. If any of my subscribers, anybody who really been following my videos know that I've said I'm tired of seeing sisters shaking their ass out here on YouTube or in public. I took issue with that because of white. Go back and look at the title. Look at the title. Then look at the number of hits. Then look at the only one video. And like I say this again, out of all the videos that she chose on YouTube, she showed the image of a black woman because she was basically saying a black woman is a slut. But you forget, you missing that part, my friend.
The purpose. See, I'm not getting upset with this white woman for usurping this woman's video booty shaking in order to entice black men, if that's truly was her goal, was to entice black men. Because the simple fact is that black women are up there shaking their asses, and the reason that they're up there shaking their asses is because black men keep clicking on the links. So if you really need...
Now, let me say this again. You got to stop making generalizations about black men and black women. Not every brother is looking at these type of videos. As I said before, I can't remember how exactly I came across it, but it was in my playlist. And maybe because of a fellow YouTuber video I was watching or something. They say black mom gets nasty. And I'm like, black mom? Because I came across a video, it was that last month on World Star Hip Hop, where a black woman was dancing in a park and in front of her daughter. And I had words about that video. See, this is why I say when you go to somebody's channel, at least watch multiple videos on multiple subjects, okay? Like I said before, I came in your channel, I watched some of your videos. Some I agree, some I don't. I never left a video response to the ones I disagree with because I didn't know in what context that you was truly talking about until I had enough time to go back and research your videos and your history. But it sounds to me, and I played this video, your video, 3 times. You're pissed off at me for calling out this white woman for what she did, and I've called out black women before. I'm not going to bash sisters when there's no need to bash sisters. Now that woman that was shaking her ass at the beginning of the video that you and I saw, yeah, she was wrong. Yeah, she got some issues. But for a white woman to go take a video of a black woman and title it the way she titled it, and use it for nefarious purposes, what she did tells you how sneaky they are. They'll use a black woman. This is why white women are out here emulating black women characteristics or trying to. Suntan, booty panties, booty implants, lip injections, cutting their hair off, having sex with black men, weak-minded black men, I should say, to further their careers or brag and say, I had a piece of black dick. Excuse me.
Be upset with anybody. Why not get upset with the black men who keep these black women treating themselves?
And first of all, brother, you sound like those white people that always want to throw it back on a black man. First of all, we don't know if all these people who watch these videos are black. And 9 times out of 10, from the comments I read, these are not all black men. Because I'm going to tell you something. On average, our people, let me rephrase that. On average, black men, we watch those videos, but we don't keep going back over and over watching to the point where they're in the millions and millions and millions of hits. Because there have been men and women out who have false flagged those videos. And those videos are never taken down. They never are age restricted, like when it comes down to white women, when they shaking their ass. That's a pattern that I've noticed. Restrict white women's fuck ups or question behavior, but don't question ours. Notice, I'm telling you, you guys got to start noticing patterns. When you go to these certain video sites, they say you must be 18 or you got to confirm that you this and that. And I noticed the ones with white women doing this, they are usually restricted. But our women showing, shaking, pulling their panties down. And those black women are not what I consider to be the cream of the crop. They're not the women that I'm trying to get with or want to be around or want to be associated with. But it sounds to me that you're pissed off because I called this white woman out. And then you saying that black men, first you got to stop saying black. We all don't get down like that. See, this is why I get pissed off at these Steve Harveys and these black men who write these books telling black women to date outside their race or just no good black men, because you're doing that to be manipulative to justify your like or your need to be around white women. Because the first thing y'all do to a black woman, sister, you mess with white men, you carry yourself so way, so I'm going to get me a white woman or some woman outside of the community who don't look at herself as being a person of color. I know the game. Remember, I'm a guy just like you. I know what we do.
In a dishonorable fashion and putting themselves out there like cheap sides of meat. That's where your real anger and your whole pissed off attitude should really be coming from. You shouldn't be getting upset over some white woman who saw an opportunity to use something to her advantage, and as it relates to trying to get some sexual bona fides about herself. The simple fact is, if black women weren't up there shaking their damn asses up in the first place, she would have had to have gone to some other white bitch's a little booty shaking video or some Hispanic or whatever the heck else was up there. You would have never had a moment's worth of complaint about how she usurped an.
No, I wouldn't have complained if she used a white woman's or Hispanic video, because I don't give a fuck about them. Because they are manipulative women. They attack our women for doing and saying certain things, but every day, if you don't believe me, turn on Telemundo and watch some of them shows where women dance around half naked, who have bleached, have dyed their hair blonde and shit, and had a nerve to call our women sluts. No, I wouldn't have gotten mad if she used a white woman. Actually, I would prefer if she did that. Then it'd have been a totally different scenario. Then you would never heard a peep out of me. But she took an image of a black woman and was manipulative with it. Now, you keep saying that you don't think that she was going after black men. Yes, she was. Why would you title a video "Black Mom Gets Nasty" and show an image of a black woman who never stated that she was a mom or not? Because you know that was going to get men coming to the channel. And not just black men, but that's what she was aiming for.
And reapplied the image of a black woman in order to elevate herself up as some white princess goddess or any sort of thing, because it would have been a non-issue. So blame the sisters for that. Don't blame this white woman for that. You blame the black women who made it so damn easy for them, and you blame the black men who are actually making that whole supply and demand thing a perpetual cycle. Because I tell you what, if it wasn't for the black men who keep clicking on these damn ad links, you know, I don't know why I waste my time. I really don't. The hypocrisy just astounds me. That you would get butthurt and upset and infuriated at the wrong thing or in the wrong direction. I don't hold that white woman to no account whatsoever. None. She only took advantage of a situation which worked to her advantage and which hurt nobody. Hurt nobody. Hurt nobody. Now, had she done something where it actually did put somebody in a situation that was going to be detrimental to them and their personal lives, or to somebody else, or to somebody else's community, then I would have said, okay, fine, you have a point of argument.
It did hurt our community. She believes that black women are slutty enough, so she took an image of a black woman. Already, I got issue with our women out here being used as pieces of meat. But she figured, if I go out and get a black woman, because that's what they do, and if I get a gal aroused, because most men do get aroused seeing a woman shake her ass, and any man who said they don't or haven't, they're lying, okay? Now, I wouldn't say I've gotten immune to it, but it's gotten to the point that it doesn't do anything for me anymore, because it's starting to get pathetic to see our sisters do these things to themselves. But it was even more pathetic that a white woman thought that she can be slick enough to come in and manipulate their image. And it is hurting our community, because she's helping promote more images. She's helping, whether you believe it or not. By her taking that image and creating a channel to do that, she was helping promote negative images of our women. But I guess you don't see that.
But what she did is no different than anybody else just saying, hey, they saw a $5 bill flying down the middle of the street somewhere, and somebody decided that they wanted to brave traffic enough to actually run out in the street and snatch up a $5 bill. Don't get upset with the damn person who runs out in the street and snatch up a $5 bill and get all upset about, what's he doing running around in traffic? Doesn't he know he's putting his life at risk? When it all comes down to, you're just effing jealous that he got the $5 bill and you didn't. And that's what this was really all about. This had nothing to do with the fact that a white woman took the image of a black woman and used it to her advantage. The problem is, you're just butthurt that it calls out black women.
No, I'm butthurt. No, brother. I like the fact that you know what I'm thinking. I mean, I love that. No. See, you got issue with black women. That's why I stopped leaving comments or following your channel or your videos a while back, because this one woman that you had issue with, you keep talking about this shit over and over and over again. You're talking about butthurt. You the one that made videos dedicated to a particular group of women. You the one that made videos constantly about this one particular woman that you've been talking about for the last, 9 months or more. And you talking about me being butthurt? No, I was pointing out something. Okay? But if you followed my videos or watched my videos, you will understand that I have called out questionable behavior among our people. But see, some of you YouTubers out here, y'all pick up on certain things. Oh, this brother got this many views, this many subscribers. I got to get some of those views and subscribers. And a brother that gets criticized out here, rightfully or wrongfully, Tommy Sotomayor mentioned this. He said, people come to your channel and they start seeing you doing videos, and you get a steady stream of viewers, and that fucks with their head. How is this guy getting all these views? How is this chick getting all these views? So what they do, they had to create some conflict. or they to come in and be insulting as you are with me. I've never came to your channel to be insulting you. But you're not the first black man to have done this to me. 3 others have done this to me. I've never called you out your name. I never came to your channel starting any beefs. But when you make a video, and when you send a video to me, or use my name, or insult me, or question my intelligence, that's what you're doing. Now, like I said before, there are videos that I've watched of yours that I vehemently disagree with. But I didn't leave a comment. I didn't vote down and do anything. Because you have a right to your opinion. Just like I have a right to my opinion. But my thing is, if you, and I want my viewers, your viewers, to listen to your video in full. Then go back and listen to my original video. Then go to that video and look at it, and don't tell me if it's not manipulative. And they come up with their own decisions, or their own opinions, I should say.
On their BS. And it just shows them how, because of the fact that they don't take their image into any sort of a positive consideration, that just about anybody can take advantage of it and do whatever the hell they want to do with it, and further smear them, and of course by extension further smear us as black men. Because again, as I said, who keeps clicking on these links and keeps watching these videos in order to keep the supply coming, because the demand is there. So if one of those 2 elements would actually get it right, either the females would stop offering the supply, or the black men would actually stop clicking the damn things, presenting the image of there being a demand, you would have absolutely jack nothing to say about any issue like this. None. So that's my rant on this whole thing. You know, set your priorities right. Know who to focus the real blame of your
Set my priorities right. Focus the real blame. You really want to go there? See, I guess black folk forgot the hundreds and hundreds of years of manipulation, hundreds and hundreds of years of abuse, and the continuous abuse that our people suffer from. Look, I would not deny that there are a group of black men and black women within our communities that are fucked up. I've stated this hundreds of times in videos. As I said before, if you and other people watch the videos entirely and listen to them and go back and listen to them twice, maybe 3 times, and understand that I am not defending questionable behavior. What I am saying is that this woman, what she did, what they do all the time, is take our image and manipulate them, especially the image of the black women. This is the very thing they do in music videos. This is why so much confusion in our communities. But no, you're not mad because I called out that white man. You mad because I didn't slam black women. That's what it boils down to. You mad that I didn't come in and call black women out of their names. I'm not going to play that game. That's your job. That's what you do. That's your stick. You make your commentaries focus on black women who don't give a damn. That's your thing. I'm not going to get in there. That's why there's a lot of brothers out here who made good channels, who made balanced channels, have had their channels taken down because men like you, who got some issues with some sisters out here, they go back and say, yeah, I remember that Colonel Wisdom guy. And I'm going to bring up something else since General Black, not Colonel, I'm sorry, excuse me, sister, I didn't mean to mention you, I got your name mixed up. I mean General Backlash, excuse me. I've had people say, you just like that General Backlash guy. I'm like, what? Our videos are not the same. But you know why they said that? Because one day I said good video on there. And that very sisters in them that you've had issue with came to me. And that's how they started messing with me. And I'm sitting there like, uh-oh. Now it's going to get to a point where I can't even go to these type of channels with black men voicing their opinion, whether it be right or wrong, just to see what they're saying. I can't leave it come. That's why, if you notice, you haven't seen none of my comments on your channel, because I don't want to get caught up in that drama. My thing is about bettering our people, our community. If I'm going to put those white men and white women on blast who manipulate images or say and do things, then I'm going to do that. You don't get the personal message sent to you. This is why, if you've been following my channel, this is why I used to put up the things about the trolls. This is why I got the video capture software. I've had white men, white women come to my channel and make threats and call black men and black women all kinds of names. I'm gonna tell you something. I'd be less than a man to let a white woman think that she's so much better than a black woman. Just one white woman saying, I'm a white woman. We got more class. We do this. We do that. We know how to be mothers and blah, blah, blah. And I'm saying, who don't want to talk to y'all? But see, you and so many of these twisted black men and black women don't want to see that. Y'all are so in love with white folk, y'all will attack the brother and sister who's actually out there trying to get brothers and sisters shit, their head twisted on straight. But you was pissed off because, one, I criticized that white woman, exposed her tricks, number one. And number two, you pissed off because I didn't bash black women. That's your shtick. That's what you do.
Nasty, bitter attention on. And I don't know how many times I have to say it, but that white woman who you called a cave-dwelling bitch because she took the image of a black woman shaking her ass in order to promote her own sexual dalliances, I hold her in absolutely no contempt. None. As far as I'm concerned, in order to get what she wanted, she did the smart thing.
So, taking images of black women that already show them in a negative light and manipulated to try to get men, more importantly black men, whether she came out and said it or not, excuse me, like I said, there were other images out here she could have used. She just could have came straight out and used an image of a picture of a white model, or a white woman out here shaking their ass, or white women in provocative poses and doing things. She took an image of a black woman. She was looking for black men, brother.
And she also did a smart thing for the sake of her own community too, because, hey, better use a slutty image of somebody else's community than to use a slutty image of your own community, yes? Think about it for a moment. You know, I would have a whole hell of a lot less animosity toward black men clicking on links of booty shaking if they were going to say, hey, we respect our sisters too much, or we appreciate them or admire them so much, or we elevate them to such a higher standard that we're not going to allow them to be put in a situation to where we're going to encourage them to put themselves out there like that. You know, so if anybody else wants to degrade themselves like that, sure, you know, we'll get our little jollies off. We'll get a little stimulation by looking at somebody else. But when it comes to our own, we're going to hold them to a higher standard because we think that they're just worthy of that additional, you know exactly what I'm trying to say.
No, I don't.
So again, who's really at fault here? As far as this white woman goes, I call no foul. Not even. So, I don't know. Do with that whatever you will. And because of my particular assessment, call me whatever you will. But
and that's what you want me. That's what you want me to do. You want me to get personal with you. You want me to attack you. This is what I told people. It's a method to people madness out here on YouTube. It's all about driving YouTube viewers. That's all it is. That's all it is. And actually, you're doing me a favor, brother, when you do this. Those black women that you have issue with, all you're going to do is bring them right over to me. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to get into that tit for tat between y'all. But all you doing is going to make sisters come over and watch my videos and understand that me and all these other black men out here who put videos up, who are telling our sisters, be wary, be careful, don't put yourself out there like that. You got friends trying to talk to them. All you doing is helping prove my point. When sisters hear you talking about this white woman didn't do any harm or no foul, she said take other images of other women and calling black women sluts and stuff. Come on, man. You can do better than that. But like I said, I was warned by other YouTubers that eventually those who subscribe to you, those who want to get a name out there, those who trying to get out of the doghouse with people in the black community would do this. That's what Painless did to me. He was in the doghouse and he said, what brother out here that ain't getting into this crap? Let me go out and pick this dude. And it didn't have the desired effect that he wanted it. All he did was increase views from self-hating black, those few self-hating black men. He got more white viewers. Believe me, brother, we're adults. I know how things are done. I know how people manipulate things. And for you to sit here and accuse me of being butthurt because I pointed out something to our brothers and sisters that need to be pointed out, you're the one who got the issues. And you're the one who was wrong.
It stands. And it's the one that I'm giving. And essentially, it's sort of like an issue of a challenge. If we really want to see things that are going to be less degrading about ourselves or somebody else promoting something that we've actually been promoting for ourselves and turning it into a brutal, vicious, nasty, mean stereotype, then you've got options. You can either nip the thing in the bud at the source, stop doing the dishonorable thing so nobody has cause for complaint against you, or you can just keep doing what you're doing and then just keep making excuses when somebody actually, from quote-unquote the outside, throws it back in our face and shows us what we really are. You can't have it both ways. Pick and choose. End of line.
Like I said, this says more about you than it does me, brother. I was pointing out what people do to manipulate images using black people, and you made it seem as if this white woman was innocent, and you tried to make it that she wasn't going after certain group of people. As I said, brother, me and you are grown men. We know what's going on around here. And if you want to keep your head in the sand, that's your business. But as I said before, don't try to pull me into this I gotta bash black women to get on your side thing. I'm not doing that. I'm not about to get no beef with you, but this is a reply video because you came at me wrong and disrespectful.